time to put that hand to what will move you forward. We're not looking back, and there ain't no stopping us now. What awaits you is right in front. It's something new, and it's just for you. So join me for that new thing, starting now on A New Thing Live. Hey there, everybody. How are you doing? Welcome to A New Thing Live. I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Cyndi Galley, and I am the host. I think it's a pretty fabulous show. So I'm the host of this fabulous show. This is a show that it really is from us for you. It's about strengthening you. It's about encouraging you. It's about inspiring you to do that new thing that's already in your heart. Sometimes we just need that extra boost, that little extra push. And that's what this show is about. It's about just helping you have those aha moments and listening to other people's journeys and their stories to thinking, wow, I can't believe they went through something similar. Oh, you mean they thought through that? Oh, you mean they wanted to give up? Sometimes we just need to hear other people talking about their stuff. And then it helps us want to, right? Helps us want to work on ours and making us realize we can do it. So I'm so glad that you're here. Now, today is July 25th. I am like tripping out that next week is August. I feel like we just celebrated the new year and it's already August next week. And so, one of the things that we like to do, we like to talk about some of the holidays and things that are coming up and what's new. So what we want you to do is interact with us, especially for those of you that are watching us on YouTube, or if you're watching us on Facebook, then you can just jump right in. You can comment. You can go, oh yeah, I totally know what you're talking about. Or I remember when that happened. I love seeing people's comments. Our team, we love it. So interact with us. Let us know where you're watching from. And like when our guest speaker is out here talking about some of these things, like give her some love and show her like, yes, girl, you got it, or whatever. Just be interacting. And then we're going to be interacting right with you too. But we're so glad that you're here. Thank you so much for chiming in and tuning in with us. So, one of the things that we like to do in the very beginning is just talking a little bit like what's going on, what's some of the things that are new. So I think y'all know this, and it really isn't new news. But like in the world of celebrityism, it looks like J-Lo, I was going to call her Lady J. She's like, don't call me that. J-Lo and Ben Affleck, they did finally tie the knot in Vegas. Yes, they finally tied the knot July 16th. Okay. So I want to say they got back together last year-ish. I know it's been a while, and it was all like people were talking about Bennifer all over again. I'm like, I have not heard that term in years. And then I was thinking, well, really, technically, he and his ex-wife too, I guess they were Bennifer as well. I mean, I don't know if they were called Bennifer, but anyway, Ben and Jennifer. So congratulations, J-Lo and Ben. But we want to know, like, tell us what you guys think about it. Like, are you like, yes, we're so glad? I have to say that, years ago when I was following their relationship and they were already engaged and talking about getting married, I really liked the idea of them together as a couple. I'm like, oh yeah, they balance each other really well and all that good stuff. And so it really did personally warm my heart to see like, I love that they really did, even though they each went their own separate way and did their own thing. At the end of the day, they ended up coming back. And I want to say, she said, this is what she wrote on her website. We did it. Love is beautiful. Love is kind. And it turns out love is patient. I was like, actually, let me pop up a little picture while I'm talking about them, because we got that too. Let's see. There we go. Okay. She said, we did it. Love is beautiful. Love is kind. And it turns out love is patient. 20 years patient. I'm like, dang girl, 20 years. Isn't that crazy? So congratulations to you both, Mr. Ben and Mrs. Jennifer Lynn Affleck. But yeah, let us know what your thoughts are about all that. Okay. So here in A New Thing Live, we love talking about some of the national days, not just the big ones, the Christmas and Easter and Thanksgiving, but there's some fun things that we can do throughout the week, throughout the month that maybe you didn't necessarily know about. So I'm going to go ahead and celebrate some of these things. Tomorrow is National Bagel Fest Day. So where do you like to get your favorite bagel? Tomorrow is National Bagel Fest Day. I was thinking of, is it Bernstein Bagels? I think, how do you call it? Einstein. Okay. So good. Pat's giving me a thumbs up. So be sure to make time tomorrow to go get your favorite bagel. There's a place called Bagel Me. They had really good bagel sandwiches. For those of you that are, watching the carbs, so maybe you don't want to jump in on that, but you can jump in on National Aunt and Uncle's Day. That's tomorrow. Isn't that so sweet? I love that. Sometimes the aunts and the uncles, we love them so much, but we don't always reach out to them. And I was thinking, oh my goodness, I've got to reach out to my 2 aunts and my 1 uncle. That's all that's remaining. So take time tomorrow to reach out to your aunt, your uncle, tell them how much you love them, wish them a beautiful day, and just, love on them. Maybe y'all can go get something to eat or something. And then National Chicken Wing Day is the 29th. Right? Oh my goodness. I'm like, oh yes, I could do me some chicken wings. And then on the 31st is National Avocado Day. And one of the cities that I love, they do everything avocado once a year, is Fallbrook. For those of you in California, maybe head on over, do a little Google search for Fallbrook and their avocado festival. I mean, there's avocado chocolate, avocado olive oil, chapstick, lotion. I mean, things that I didn't even know you could put avocado in. Like, they do it. They do it. I remember the avocado chocolate. Never tried it. But if you're not going to have any time to go to Fallbrook, then just go to your little local store and just dive into some good old guacamole dip, or getting just your favorite. I love avocados and I like to cut them. I like to put salt and pepper, and then I just eat them right out of I use it like it's a bowl. Oh, I love it. And I do it with a spoon and I scrape it all the way down to the bottom. So good. So be sure to enjoy your National Avocado Day. If there's any days that you guys like, if there's anything that you want us to talk about, do bring it up. Oh, I do see here, DRW Crafts. Oh, Miss Dava, she is saying that she loves bagels. Yes, girl, tell us what kind of bagels you like. We want to know. We want to know. And if there's a favorite place where you enjoy getting your chicken wings. And what we can try to do on our end is we'll see if there's any places that gives discounts or buy one, get one free kind of a thing. We will put it up on A New Thing Live social media, probably as an Insta story, but just to kind of give you a little bit of a heads up that this is what's going on for those of you that do like chicken wings. Okay, how are we doing? We doing good? Okay, I'm so excited. So we are so thrilled about tonight's guest. Now, I have to say, and I'm so upset with myself, I have to find the picture, and I'll talk a little bit about it here, but there's a picture I'm still looking for. So my hope is that during this interview that I can find it and get it over to our media so we can get it up on the screen in time. But oh my goodness, I'm so excited about tonight's guest. Let me tell you a little bit about this amazing, incredible, beautiful, talented woman. She's been trained both classically as well as in jazz. And this weekend, today's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, this Saturday, she's the vocalist that everybody's going to be showing up to hear, right? At Synesthesia, and I'm hoping I'm saying this right, Synesthesia Sinfonietta. Italian's not my gift, although I do love languages. But she's here tonight with us here in the studio. And so not only that, she's going to be talking about, we called it songs in your key of life. She's going to be talking about the songs in her key of life, a little bit of a play there with Stevie Wonder, iconic Stevie, we do give him so many props. So that's a little nod to him. But would you please help me welcome, and I hope I'm saying the stage name right, Miriam Rahwa. Tell me how to say it, Miriam, because I got to say it right.
You're good.
I had it earlier. I should have practiced it again. It's a new last name for me, right? Yeah. It's a new last name for me. Okay, please help me welcome Miriam Rahwa. Yeah, so here she comes. Come on, girl. Come on.
So good to see you, Cyndi.
Oh my goodness. First of all, you are just beautiful as ever. I mean, you're radiant and you're shining. I know that y'all can see just the glow, but here it's even more than what y'all can see. And Pat's agreeing with me, our production assistant. So how have you been doing? Welcome to a new thing live.
I'm so excited to be here. I remember seeing you do all of these different kind of shows, like pre-pandemic at The Rock. And I was like, Cyndi is always doing something super cool. And I'm so happy that we got to be able to do this together.
Right? Yes. Well, and it's the time. Like, you know, you're one of those individuals where I know so many times I would be like, do you want to be involved with this? I try to rope this girl in because she was so talented. You were doing production at the time. So she interned at The Rock. And that's really how and when we met, and we were able to, you know, be in each other's lives almost every day.
Yeah.
But just so wonderful, because you would talk with me and you would share with me about your dream and your desire to be a vocalist and to sing, you know, and it's one of those things, honestly, it's a creative art. How do you go about, this is what my career is going to be?
Ooh, yes.
You know, So it's one of those things where it's like, even for me, because it's like someone said, oh, girl, you're a hustler. You do this and you do that. And it's like, yeah. A lot of artists have to hustle in the beginning.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But so I know you've got some stories.
Yes.
So talk to us a little bit about your journey after you left and you graduated from your internship.
Oh, yes. Oh, that is a fun story.
Fun story.
So it was crazy because going into my internship at my church, for the longest time was like, I'm just going to go into political science. I was very, very good at academics.
And I could see that too. I could see that. Yeah. You could do both. Dual. But what?
So I thought, I was going to go into academics, and I had an offer of admission at a private school, pretty good private school.
Okay.
Before my internship. And then I told them I was going to defer my admission in case I wanted to go back.
Yeah.
So as I left the internship, I really did not feel like, because I had prayed about it, I didn't feel like I had gotten any super clear answers about what I was supposed to be doing next in that next season of life.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, God, you're going to tell me? I kind of have school coming up.
Yes.
A month or two.
Yeah.
And one day I had a conversation with somebody at church, and they were like, you know what? They're like, you just got to do what God put in your heart. And I was like, okay. And then as soon as they said that, it was really funny, because I had always told myself before I graduated, I'd always said, if I was going to go into academics, I would have gone to a certain private school. And if I was going to go into the arts, I was like, I would have gone to Fullerton College, right, down the street from the church.
Yeah.
And as soon as they said that, I was like, okay, I feel like it's time.
Fullerton, here I come.
Here I come. And it was so late in the game. It was August. Imagine trying to get classes a couple weeks before classes start.
No, I cannot imagine.
No, don't try to imagine. It was an experience, to say the least.
Yes.
So then I had to get ready for auditions. I had to get back into the swing of practicing and music and reading music and auditions. And it was actually really funny, because my first semester in college, I didn't even make auditions for the program that I wanted to be in.
Wow.
I literally didn't make it. And
I'm so glad you're sharing that, because people need to know.
Yeah, they need to know.
If at first you don't succeed, right? Try again. That's right.
Yeah. So at first I didn't make it into the program, and I was like, God, I thought this is where you wanted me to be. Like, I totally left the whole program.
I had a shoe in, Lord.
I thought I had a shoe in because you told me to be there, but apparently, you know, I had to shove my own foot in. So, you know, that semester, I had really learned the value of hard work in my internship, because there were so many times when I was just doing the same thing over and over again for hours.
Yeah.
So I think that really taught me as a musician how to practice, because there were so many times when I would be in the practice rooms at school being like, this isn't working. Like, you know, this isn't doing, my voice isn't doing what I wanted to do. I'm trying to do this and trying to do that. So I think I had learned really how to work hard. And I knew that if I wanted to be in that program at my school, I was just going to have to grind and grind and grind. I worked my butt off that first semester in school. And eventually my second semester in school, I did get into that program. I was very excited to be taking lessons. But, you know, there's so many stories I could tell you guys about, like, yeah, you know, I thought, but not. And then, you know, something good happens, and then something bad happens. And then you have to keep going in spite of all that stuff.
I do. I totally appreciate you sharing that, because you do have a choice at some point to say, you know what, I'm just going to throw in the towel and go and do this over here, because sometimes people will want to quit that first time round, you know, and then other times, even if you're pushing and you're not seeing the results that you want, it can also be very easy to want to quit and just be like, okay, this isn't for me. I thought I wanted this, but I'm just going to do the other. What was that like for you? Because, you know, a lot of times parents or family or loved ones might say, yeah, you do have a beautiful voice, but we want you to be, like, for the longest time, my mom was so cute. She'd say, like, I want you to be a doctor. And I'm like, a doctor? Like, you're laughing because it's not me, right? But of course, parents want the very best for you. They just want you to have a better life than what they had. So I think for her, she's like, yeah, be a doctor. I'm the total exact opposite. You cannot pull me into a hospital. Like, I'll work it out myself, Jesus. Like, gallbladder attack. Okay, lemon juice and olive. Okay, olive. Perfect. That's, you know.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's terrible. I know. And we do have some wonderful. Oh, let's see. Who do you know who this person?
Yeah,
Jacob,
that's my uncle.
Your uncle.
Hi, it's so good to see you.
Oh, I love that.
One of my friends from Peru actually is on.
What?
Yeah, down over here.
Oh, this is Peru. Peru is in the house. Hello, Peru. And hello, is he saying Atlanta? Atlanta. We got Atlanta in the house. We got Peru in the house. I'm so excited. I love Peru.
Yes.
I just was telling someone the other day, I want to go back.
Oh, absolutely.
So badly. Yes. And then we did Nicaragua together, but that's a whole other, we'll talk about that in a little bit too. Sure. So, but family, loved ones, some of your closest friends, sometimes it might be like, Miriam, I don't know about that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, my family, they're immigrants, right?
Okay.
So a lot of the times immigrant families come to the U.S. hoping that you'll go to school and get a really good education and maybe have some opportunities their parents didn't have or anything like that. So when you tell, be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, I was like,
doctor. I faint when I see blood.
Oh, me too. I hate blood. No blood, please. Don't put it in front of me.
Pus, all of that stuff. I go, you know, I'm like, no, I was not meant to be a doctor. Trust me.
Same way. But, like political science, there is kind of that track to pre-law. And I think my family was like, yes, our daughter is going to be one of those. And, and then I told them, like, for a while, I was like, I kind of feel like I'm supposed to go into music. And I think, there were a lot of like conversations that happened. Yeah. And I think they kind of helped me and supported me as I was going through school. But I think there was definitely like, why are you not doing the thing that you're really, really good at?
Yes.
So it was definitely a journey in that, for sure.
Now, have they ever heard you sing before? I'm sure they had, because you already said, you did music and piano and reading music and all of that. Yeah. So you did that in high school. When did you start pursuing music? How old were you?
Sure. Well, I had always sort of had like a knack for music. I wouldn't say it was like the foremost thing that I did with my time, but I started piano lessons pretty young. Like I was probably like kindergarten or younger. Okay. Yeah. Took lessons on and off, and I was always involved in something musical at church or school. And it's funny because like with singing, I always considered myself growing up like more of a keyboardist than a singer. I didn't think I had a good voice.
Okay. That's, I hear you.
Yeah. And, you know, going even into high school, I remember joining choir for the first time as a junior. That was like my first formal choir experience. Yeah. And I didn't know how to sight sing music. I knew how to read music.
Yeah.
But my first experience sight singing music was like, I was a junior and I had an audition in high school where my choir director was like, okay, you're going to sight sing something now. And I was like, wait, what's that?
Yeah.
And it's been a journey since then.
It is a skill for sure. We had our alumni weekend for my high school, and I was in choir, chorale, trios, quartets, duets, ever since I can remember.
Yeah.
But in high school, you know, I was in chorale and choir. And so what they did is they had the current choir and chorale, and they said, any alumni that were in the, come on up. And I was like, oh, and then my friends that were with me, they were like, you're going up. I'm like, yeah, I was in chorale all 4 years, and they were too. I'm like, you should be going up too. So the three of us went up. But the sightseeing, and I played piano too, but it was like,
We've all done that.
Yeah, and they were so cute. Like the youngers are like, oh, here, you can share music with me. And there we were like, yeah, it was fun though. And it made me miss being, I've always loved being in group music, you know, and so how exciting for you though.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. So you took choir, you did music, you studied music, you did piano, you would sing, you considered yourself more a keyboardist and a vocalist. And then you went into internship.
Yes.
How long then had it been from that last time where you were really pursuing music to the time you really decided, okay, this is what I'm going to do? How many years or how much time was in between that?
You know, I feel so for me, I don't want to be like, use the word like call into music, but it kind of, I feel like it happened when I was a sophomore in high school. It was kind of like a very interesting, unique, maybe semi-spiritual experience.
Yeah, tell us about it.
Sure. So,
we want to know. Inquiring minds, we want to know.
Yeah, of course. So I was going through like a really, really rough period in my faith. Like if you're a Christian, you know, the idea of spiritual warfare is really real. And I had just started going to a new church and kind of getting involved and reading my Bible and learning how to pray and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I just felt like there were just so many things that would like start happening, like kind of randomly out of nowhere. I was like, why is this thing happening? Or why can't I sleep well?
Yes.
All these random things. And I remember one day I was like in this like meeting, this prayer meeting with like, with two other people, and we're just praying and kind of like helping me through this process.
Right.
And I remember one day this one lady's like, hey, Miriam, like, she's like, I feel like one day you're going to be like studying music and singing and all that.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. So I just kind of like kept in the back of my head.
Yes.
But ever since then, little opportunities would like come my way, whether it was, you know, church choir, like the youth choir at church, that happening. And then it was like, oh, school choir is a thing.
Yeah.
And then slowly but surely, it was just like little things along the way that kind of just, you know, kept me on that path.
I love that.
Yeah. And then when I was in my internship, I was just kind of like, I don't really know what's happening with school, and I don't know what's happening with music, but I just know that it's there, and somehow it's gonna, you know, find its way towards me. And then I started going to school for music, and things started happening slowly but surely throughout school. And I guess here we are. I transferred to a new school, into Cal State Long Beach, and here I am now. Yeah.
Very cool. I love hearing that. It's just been fun to watch. You know, I obviously didn't know you in high school, but to see you as an intern and just knowing that was your heart, and then seeing you follow that path, you know, exactly what you said. We need to, for those of us that say, okay, I know what I'm supposed to do. Like, we need to work that skill out, do the work, you know, work your craft, hone in on your craft, do the studies. Maybe for you, it's not even school, you know, but there's so many ways that you can, for music, like maybe some people like YouTube. My niece is only 14 years old, and she wanted to learn how to play the bass during the pandemic. She started watching YouTube channels, and my dad bought her a bass, and now she's on the worship team, on the adult worship team. She's only 14, right? But there are things we can do, y'all. So some of y'all want to do things and you don't do them. You're just like, I'm kind of lazy, and I just came home from work and I'm tired. And really, to pursue those things that are in your heart It's going to take effort.
Oh, absolutely.
It's got to take work. You talked about just over and over again, working at it over and over and over again. And there's just something to be said about that. And a lot of times people will talk about change. Like, I want change in my life. I want to see different results, but what are you doing to change that? What are you doing to create a new life for yourself? A good friend of mine, and she's been on the show a couple of times, Jamaica Joyner, Luxury and Bliss. She's got beautiful apparel, and she also has Luxury and Bliss events. And she says she's reinventing herself, and she's walking every day. I think she put herself on it's more than a 60-day challenge. I feel like it may have been 365. I mean, every day she's committed to this. I'm like, wow. Yeah. But you have to be willing to do something different to get that different result. You know what I mean? So talk to us about some of that. Like, what did that look like for you, going a little bit deeper into, sometimes I'm working at things like what's an example of something that happened to you where you're looking at this situation, you're wanting to quit, or you're looking at, and you decide to push yourself through. Like, what does that look like for you? How did you walk that out?
There are so many times throughout college where I was like,
I can imagine.
I looked at that, that school portal thing, and I was like, I could totally just drop my classes and enroll in another degree program. It was tempting. Some of you probably know if we went to school together. I joked about it a lot. I'm just gonna drop my classes.
And sometimes it was my last year of my master's degree, my last semester. And I go, I'm done. My mom's like, you have one more. I go, no, I'm done. I'm not studying anymore. I'm not reading anymore. I'm not taking any more tests. I don't care if I spent all this money in graduate school. I'm done.
Oh, yes.
And nothing was and it was God's grace and somebody who gave me a word. They said, they prayed with me, and they said, and they didn't know me from Adam. They did not know me. And they said, as they were praying for me, she said, I see a finish line, and it says the words May. I don't know if that means anything.
Wow.
Even now I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it.
Wow,
right. So how important it is when we get those words from the Lord through people, write it down and don't discount it, So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sure. No, I can think of two really big major pivotal things besides the first thing I said when I just didn't make the program my first go around.
I'm proud of you for doing it again.
Yes. We can talk about the hard things, but there's also some cool things too.
Yes.
But which is good.
Yes.
I remember my first, I had decided to kind of switch my emphasis in music because I was praying about it, and it had come after a really big opportunity had opened up to me in school. Like, I got to be a lead in a school music production, but I really felt like I was supposed to shift.
Who were you and what musical?
Oh, it was an opera, not.
Oh, okay.
But it was a school opera, and it was like Cinderella but French, and I got to be one of the stepsisters.
Woo,
yes,
girl!
Really
you'll have to do a little bit of a sample for us.
Ooh. Maybe at some point, if I can remember the lyrics.
Je m'appelle.
She's got it.
No.
But yeah. So, after I had come off this really high where, it was totally like God's timing and everything. After I come off this really high of doing this production, I felt like I was supposed to switch my emphasis. So I prayed about it. I was like, okay, we'll go for it. Even though I had no experience whatsoever in the style I was training. I was just jumping off the deep end, just went for it. And I remember my first month, it was so rough in that study. I remember I was in a lesson, and I remember someone was telling me, like, after a couple lessons of trying a completely new thing, they were like, yeah, I don't know if this is the program for you. I don't know if you should probably just do the other program you were doing. And I was like, I thought you told me, God, that I was supposed to be here. And I was really discouraged, and I had gotten another lesson with someone else, and I was telling about the situation. I was kind of a little emotional in my feelings, as you are if somebody tells you, no, this is not right for you.
Yes.
And it was really funny because right as I was in this lesson with somebody else, somebody came up to me, I don't want to get too into the details of the situation, but someone came up to me and was like, hey, you have such a beautiful voice. Why aren't you singing with our X, Y, and Z group? Why are you not doing that same day? Because I was like, maybe I should quit. Maybe I'm not.
Yeah.
And right as that, awful day I had happen, someone came up to me and was like, you should come and come and sing with us. And I was like, okay, that was like a little bit of encouragement. And I just
love that.
stuck it out.
Thankful that happened.
I needed that encouragement. But I stuck it out, and I stuck it out for the next 2 years, despite, being a little discouraged.
Sure.
And then I can think of another thing. So when I applied to doing transfer auditions, there was like my first choice program that I really, really wanted to be in. Mm-hmm. So I had like a couple of options and different skill sets that I could use to apply to different schools. Mm-hmm. So I got ready to do my transfer auditions, and there's a school I really, really wanted to get an audition for, and I thought I had the ins and everything. And I sent in my audition tapes, and I was like waiting to hear back. And I was like, I've worked really hard on this. I hope I get the thing that I want. And I was not even offered an audition. Didn't even get like past the first round, just didn't get offered an audition. Oh. And I was like, God, I thought you wanted me to be in this program. Yeah. If I had been in the other program, I wouldn't have dealt with this. And I was so like, for like a month, I was like, what am I doing here? I could have been doing something else, Yeah. But I had other options, and I had made sure that my skill set was diverse enough so I could apply for other things. Yeah. So I applied for another program, or 2 other programs. Couple other programs. That's actually not true. Couple other programs, and I sent in my audition tapes for another major, and I was like, oh, no one's gonna want me. I feel so bad. Like I was just not. Oh, it was frustrating. But then for some of those other programs, not only did I get in, I got offered really good scholarships. Hey now. Like I had 2 schools that I was kind of talking to, and they were kind of like going back and forth. I was like, hey, they gave me this much money. What can you do? And they're like, okay, we'll give you more money. Wow.
She was able to kind of do a little bit of negotiation here.
Oh, yes. Gotta do what I got.
Yes. Wow.
So, yeah.
That's amazing. Well, good for you, and congratulations. I think that's so important, just again, sticking to your guns. There's just something to be said about just not so easily giving up. And even as you're talking, I'm thinking about like actors and actresses. I mean, they go to auditions over and over and over and over and over and over. And I'm even thinking of some of the cast of Hamilton. I want to say it was David. Is it Diggs? I feel like I remembered reading that he was almost homeless and in a car, had even been approached by the cops, like, what are you doing? And who are you? And all of this stuff, maybe like a week before he got cast in Hamilton.
Yep.
I mean, and now this guy, everybody know who he is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was one of my favorite characters. I mean, they all were so good, but I loved watching him on the stage. All of them, actually. So, Anthony Ramos, of course, Lin-Manuel Miranda, and everybody else, all the women, girls in the cast as well. But, there's something to be said about, no, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Even in the midst of the, no, why are you in this program? There are going to be naysayers. Mm-hmm. There are going to be negative talkers. There are going to be people that make you question and doubt, like, is this what you're supposed to be doing?
Yeah.
But I love that you're sitting here because you are a walking testimony and testament of what it looks like when you keep walking in the face of perseverance. For the Bible says, for you have need of endurance, do not cast away your confidence,
yes.
For you have need. So you have need of endurance, for after you have done the will of God, you will receive the promise. So you're walking out in this, you're walking this out because you know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
And so I love that. And then look at the doors that opened for you, even though that one said, so just because you get that one, don't just say, okay, well, that closed, so that must mean I'm going to do this. Sometimes things get hard. I get it. I remember just telling someone the other day that when I was in graduate school, I found out that for my degree, we had to take 2 semesters of a biblical language. I said, what? You want me to read either Hebrew or Greek for 2 semesters? Oh no, I won't do it. Because I was like, I could barely do the languages that in the letters that I can read, like French and Spanish. Is like, I mean, I did okay, probably like an A- or B+, whatever, but I'm like, but for the letters that I can't do it. And I felt like the Lord said, no, this is where I've called you. And I said, okay, then you have got to show me which class I'm to take.
Yeah.
And I knew that it was Hebrew, and I went for it. And that first week, it unlocked the understanding of how the language was read from right to left in squiggles and lines and dots that I never knew. It all, like my blinders were removed. So I loved, and I love that. It's like, it was one of those things where I'm like, I'm so glad. I was ready to jump to another degree. And the only other degree in that school was Masters of Counseling. I was like, okay. So I'm just so proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you for you just sticking it out and doing what you needed to do, doing the audition. This door closed, but yet you still did these other auditions. We have to keep trying.
Yep.
Otherwise, you may never see the things because we see things in our heart.
Yes.
This show, I have to say, it was in my heart before 2000. So it's 22 years. Now we're going to be celebrating our 3rd year, but it's been about 20 years that I knew that I was supposed to be doing something having to do with talk show. I didn't know it was going to be just me interviewing people, and I didn't know it was going to be, virtual. But it's like, how are you going to walk it out if you don't take the first step to do it?
Yeah.
Who's going to knock on my door and be like, oh, I hear that you want to be a talk show host. Come and no, that is not how it works. You have to do the work. You need to step out in faith. You need to take those steps, even as scary as it is. And sometimes, and then I want you to talk about this one thing, and then we're going to jump into all the fun stuff. Yes, is sometimes it's your own mind, your own thoughts. People don't want to hear you. People don't want to see you. You're old. Why would people even tune in? It's like, I have to fight all those things. What does it look like? What are some of the exercises that you do? Because I'm sure people out there that are watching, that they've felt the same way. What are some of the things you do to overcome the negative thoughts in your own mind?
Absolutely. Well, as something even like people say in church is like, you got to replace one set of thoughts and words with more words.
Yeah.
And I had this teacher tell me one day, because I was like, I feel like I'm just stuck with these negative impressions and thoughts about, how I sing and how I do certain things. And she told me that I needed to have affirmations, kind of like a mantra every time I started singing. And like, I had this little note card on my room, on the wall in my room, where I would say, like, people want to hear me sing. I have a beautiful voice and people want to support me, things like that. And even today, like, I was practicing getting ready for my show, and I had all these things I was worried about. I was like, I'm worried about the audience thinking one thing and me feeling one way on stage and remembering things. And I made a list of all the things that I was really concerned about. And I was like, okay, this is how I'm feeling. But this is like the reality, and these are things that I can do. It's something that I can like actually work towards and not just be scared about.
So good.
Yes.
That's so good. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. That's so powerful. And that really every one of us needs to do that. I was telling somebody the other day, I had to talk myself back into joy. And I had to say, I'm stepping into this. I was literally saying, I'm stepping out of the stream of depression. I'm stepping out of the stream and this muddy water that I'm just standing in. I'm stepping out of it, and I'm stepping into life. I'm stepping into rivers of life. I'm stepping into clear, beautiful waters, and that my mind and my thoughts would line up with. I mean, I literally was, not yelling it, but loudly saying this. And we have to speak to ourselves the right words, the right things, contrary to the things that we're hearing, the doubt and the discouragement. The word says, whatever things are pure, noble, true, lovely, meditate on these things. So those are the things that we need to be meditating on, right? Yes. You're like, yes.
Absolutely.
So now you haven't graduated yet. Okay. So we're so excited. So this weekend, you've got a fun performance coming up. Stage and sound. Yep. Talk to us. I'm going to pop that up really quick, but talk to us about Stage and Sound and how that came to be. And I'm excited because it looks like there's going to be all kinds of you're singing the Beatles, and I remembered seeing the Beatles, but I know there were some others that I saw on there too. Michael Jackson, West Side Story, Chicago, The Princess and the Frog. How cute is that? Star Wars, right? Oh my goodness. Okay, so stage and sound. Talk to us about that.
So that it's so funny because especially like in life, but especially in music and the performing arts, there is this thing of like one door leads to the next.
Yes.
So
that's good.
Yes. When I transferred to Long Beach, I remember hearing about a certain group based in Downey that had a pops orchestra.
Okay.
So like strings, brass, all of that good stuff. So I sang with them. I remember meeting this one particular conductor who, came up to me and he was like, hi, you sing really well. And I was like, thanks. They were just saying hello. And I didn't really think anything. I was like, okay, the person. And then fast forward like 9 months later, like I got to know the person that I had spoken with. And it turned out that this person was a conductor for an orchestra.
Ooh.
You never know who you're gonna meet.
You never know.
Be nice to people you don't know.
Be nice.
Yes. Just to be a nice person, but also because you never know.
Yes, it's so good. That's great advice. Yeah.
So they had just kind of remembered that I sang and knew how to like work with orchestras, and they were like, "Hey, we have a summer program going on where we're going to do some pop music, and I would love to have a vocalist because sometimes they do things without vocals and just the orchestra themselves." But the conductor approached me and asked me if I wanted to be on the program. And I was like, absolutely, yes.
Yes.
This was back towards the end of May. And ever since then, we've been programming this concert, kind of figuring out what the orchestra could play, if there was existing music for the orchestra and what I wanted to do.
Yes.
And really, really, which is, you mentioned The Princess and the Frog.
Yes. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's funny because there were no existing arrangements of The Princess and the Frog to purchase. There were like none that you could buy. We like went through the internet and there was nothing.
Oh, wow.
So the conductor went and listened to the music and wrote the whole score by himself.
I love it.
Just because I wanted to sing it. How awesome is that?
Now you get to sing your song, The Princess and the Frog.
Absolutely. Little 8-year-old.
Oh, I love that. Oh my goodness. So the performances are at 3 and at 7, right? Yes. And so I really am gonna try and hit the 3 o'clock. Let me bring that information up again, because I'm sure people want to know where. This is going to be at the International Pentecostal Church in Bellflower. Yes. In Bellflower. So you can get tickets, and we will have that information both on our website, as well as we probably will promote it as well, even on our social media.
Right. Yeah, I love that.
For people that want to know, like Pat is asking, like, where? Where? So how long? And so you get to sing with an orchestra.
Yes. So fun. It's so much fun.
That's exciting. So you were trained classically and with jazz. And so this, I would imagine, is going to be more of a classical bend to it, or is it going to be all kinds of pop? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Girl, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm not going to sing Michael Jackson with like a lot of, opera stuff.
I have seen that. Now the opera might be a little too much, but Saturday Night Live used to have the funniest skit where they would take a pop song, and I don't remember the name of this, but they would sing it all opera. It was terrible. I just remember, hey, now you're a rock star. Oh, yes. Get your game on, go play. And I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, it's out there, but not Saturday. Not Saturday.
To each their own. But here's the thing. Honestly, like, for example, Sting is one of my favorite singers. Yeah. And he, it's been wonderful because he's evolved through the years. First it was rock, and then he got older, and then he would take the same songs, like maybe Roxanne and Englishman in New York, and then it became a little bit more jazzier. Mm-hmm. And like his All This Time CD is like amazing. And then as he continued to age, all of a sudden I was watching him perform at the Hollywood Bowl with I don't remember if it was the London Symphony or if it was a California. I don't think it was not the California Phil. Anyway, it was a Philharmonic and his album was called Symphonicity instead of Synchronicity. I mean, he's constantly evolving. I'm like, he's so smart,
Yeah.
But I love that anyway. So I was wondering, about that. But okay, thank you. Okay, we have a few more minutes. A couple of just random questions.
Sure.
So your hair is beautiful.
Thank you.
So, like, what kind of products do you use in your hair?
Yes. So
yes,
it always changes with curly hair because like a couple months your hair will like one product and it'll be like no, and it'll change. So today in particular, I had just taken out my braids. My hair was ready for some products, but I use Maui Moisture for my conditioner and shampoo.
Okay.
It's like the blue bottle. I forget like what exactly it's called, but it's the blue one.
Okay.
And then I use Miel pomegranate, and I forget what the name is, but for a leave-in conditioner. And then I have this. I love. It's what is? I'm blanking on the name. Oh no, because I swear by this like butter gel. What is the name of it? Camille Rose. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Camille Rose butter gel. That thing, my hair just
loves it. It just like
yeah.
Exactly. And I know because my hair is so dry, but when there are certain products that it just like drinks it. Yes. And then all of a sudden like curls are vibrant and things like that. But it's so interesting because, and we haven't done like a beauty segment or a hair segment yet, but we're the fun thing about this show is, and that we get to produce it, is we get to make what we want to make it.
Yeah.
So we are talking about bringing some fun like fashion segments on here and beauty segments, and we've done some DIYs and things like that. But I mean, there's certain products that with my hair, if I don't use a certain conditioner, I use Carol's Daughter. If I don't use certain products, my hair, it's like conditioned, but it's like, it's not working with me. With all the curl, it's like, no, you didn't feed me right. we're not doing this. So, anyway, I was like, her hair is so gorgeous. I have to. So what would you say would be 2 or 3 things that you would want to leave our viewers with about pursuing your calling and then staying true to who you are? Because with music, you have so many genres that you could have went down so many different paths.
Yes.
But what is maybe 2 things that you would want to leave our viewers with?
Sure. So I would say again, like I think the theme of like today's show has been like, just because things are hard when you start out doesn't mean that you're not supposed to do them. It means you got to stick it out and really persevere in spite of all the hard stuff that's going to happen.
That's good.
And then I would say you have to stay true to who you are as a person and the gift God's given you and just like your identity. Because if you don't know who you are, there's going to be so many people who are going to try to shape you and influence you and mold you into certain things. And, it's for me, definitely has been a journey in that area, but you have to stay true to what's on the inside.
I love that. Mm-hmm. That's so good. And I could not have said that any better myself. It's absolutely 110% true. If you don't know who you are, people will tell you who they want you to be and what they want you to be. And then you start veering away from who you are and what's on the inside of you. And that's when you sometimes find yourself depressed, sad. It's like, well, this is it, but it's not really it. Like I'm doing kind of it, but I'm not really doing it. Yeah. What's that it? What's that thing that you would stay up all night to work on? Like that's the it.
Yes.
That's the it. And so what is that it for you? And Miriam is saying, whatever that is for you, stay true to who you are and don't veer away. And you're the only one that can do it. Yep. And I love that you, for example, like you get to sing The Princess and the Frog.
Yes, so excited.
and that the arranger or the conductor knew there was a connect for him to say, we need to get this done and we're going to make it possible that she can. I love that.
Yeah, it was great.
That's amazing. Yes. And that just means that you're good, girl, because a man's gift makes room for himself.
Thank you. Makes room for the princess and the
That's
frog.
right. That's right. Well, I'm excited. So of all the songs, and you don't have to tell us this if you don't want, but of all the songs that you're singing, which is your favorite?
Ooh, that's hard. I mean, they're all really fun, and I got to pick a lot of them.
Wow.
Like I would say, I would say like the top maybe couple favorites. Like I love the musical Chicago.
I was gonna say it's got to be some from Chicago.
Love Chicago, all that jazz, right?
Yes.
Love Chicago. And
you want me to tap dance? Because I did a tap dance performance to that song.
You tap dance in the
You want
audience.
me to? You need my help that night?
Give me a coach and I'll take
all
it.
that jazz.
I love it.
That is a fun song.
So fun. We're doing like a whole medley of all. Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Yes. So Chicago, and like I really do like the whole set list, but like to have someone write an arrangement for The Princess and the Frog, so your little inner 8-year-old, you know, could sing it on stage. That's special.
Oh, I'm just excited. Well, I am planning on going, so I'm excited. I will be probably one of the loudest cheerleaders for you there, and I'm excited just to see you. And you know, we've done some things together. I know we would sometimes worship together, and you know, there were things. We've gone on a missions trip together, and I think we were able to find that.
Yes, that's me way in the back.
That's you way in the back. Yes. So cute, and what a wonderful. That was 2017.
I had to have been 18.
Okay, you were 18.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, that was 5 years ago.
Know,
5 years ago. Wow. And I always say I want to go back to Nicaragua as well.
Yeah. That
was a mission trip that we went on, you guys, with Missions Me. And we went to Nicaragua in 2017, and then in Peru. Were you in Peru too? Mm-hmm. I don't know if I knew. Did I know that you were in Peru?
Maybe. I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah, I know. It's there were over 500 missionaries that our church took to Peru.
A lot.
So it's hard to keep up with people that sometimes I think, oh, Peru, and they go, oh, I didn't go, and I go, oh, you didn't go. Like it's hard to keep up with who did and who didn't go.
Yeah.
But I will try and go this Saturday to hear you.
Come on, you're all welcome.
Come on. You get to hear Miriam on Stage and Sound. It's in Bellflower. Tickets are only $10.
Yeah, I think I might go up just a little bit, but get them sooner rather than later because there is a difference. There's a discount when you buy it online versus at the door. Okay, sounds good. Well, I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me and with our viewers, and just, you know, giving us the 411 on how to really be true to the songs in the key of your life. But I really am just so proud of who you are and for you just sticking with it. And I know you've made a lot of sacrifices along the way. I mean, there's so many things we didn't get to really talk about. I always wish I had like 2 to 3 hours, but my team's like, no, we're trying to make this show shorter, not longer. So, anyway, thank you so much for coming. Yeah, it's been wonderful. Everybody, Miriam, Rahwa. There you go.
Okay, don't go away. We will be right back. Get those tickets for Stage and Sound. Oh, I do want to point out really quick one thing, how people can find you. You're on Instagram.
Yes,
I am. Instagram. So follow her, Miriam Rahwa, on Instagram, and you're just going to fall in love with her. She's just a wonderful, wonderful musician and performing artist. So, okay, don't go away, you guys, because we will be right back. And then we're going to say goodbye. But don't go. We have a real quick message for you from A New Thing Live.
It's an all-new season 2, bringing you now more than ever before. You'll be inspired.
Welcome to A New Thing Live. And Italian food is a comfort.
Oh my goodness.
Not a rapper.
It's okay, honey. It's okay.
You'll be strengthened.
What's in there? You just can't.
You just can't find it. No. I have one. It's in there.
It's in there.
We get real.
That you had mentioned is that you help people get to their next best place in God. But while they're turning, well, I couldn't do it.
And we have fun. We're going where we've never gone before, and we're inviting you to come along.
It's A New Thing Live. We get real, we get raw. It's a little bit of crazy, but a whole lot of fun. Come and join us on Monday nights where you will be strengthened to do that new thing that's in your heart to do. And subscribe today to A New Thing Live. Yeah, subscribe to us today. I'm like, oh my goodness, that commercial is way too long. It needs to be like half of that. Anywho, I hope you enjoyed your time with us tonight and just hearing Miriam. And I really do. I'm asking you, I'm inviting you to go watch her. For those of you in the SoCal area, over to Stage and Sound this Saturday. performance at 3, a performance at 7. And I'm excited. I know it's going to be amazing. And it's just been so wonderful to watch her bloom. That's exactly what she's done, is she's bloomed. Hey, if you don't yet follow us, connect with us on social media. We're at A New Thing Live on Facebook, at A New Thing. We're on YouTube, obviously, but if you're watching it on Facebook or Roku, then head on over to YouTube, do a little search, A New Thing Live, and then hit that subscribe button. And then we always want you to know that if you have a prayer request, please email us anewthing.live@gmail.com, anewthing.live@gmail.com. Our team loves to pray. We believe in the power of prayer. We will lift your situation up. So, or anything else. If it's not prayer, maybe you just want to give us an idea, or maybe you just want to say, hey, thank you so much. We've received those too, where individuals have said, I'm now doing this new thing in my life. Thank you so much for that push. And that's what this show is all about. So thank you guys for joining. Thank you so much to Miriam, Rahwa. Be sure to follow her on Instagram. Also, don't forget to buy tickets to Sage and Sound this weekend. It's going to be at 3 and 7 in Bellflower. And you know what? I just want to give you that last word of encouragement. She talked about hardships. We're going to have them. We're going to have them. You may be going through a hardship right now, but keep pressing through. Keep declaring and speaking words of life. Don't give in to the discouragement. Don't give in. And you might say, I'm trying to do, but I'm so tired. Then reach out to us and we're going to come alongside you. And we're going to be praying with you. And I'm going to send you scripture and declaration, whatever you need to get through what you're going through to get to the other side. We want you to do it because yes, we face hardship, but there's always victory. There's victory in Jesus. And then always remember to be true to who you are. This is what a recap from what Miriam was talking about. Be true to who you are, and then be faithful with the small. Be faithful in the small. The word says that he'll make you ruler over many. And so some of you may have some big dreams, but just take that first step. You don't know what to do. Take the first step. Maybe legalzoom.com, maybe reaching out, maybe doing a little coach, maybe a free webinar that you find on social media. Take the first step and then grab somebody in your life and say, you know what, this is what I'm seeing that I need to do so that you can do it. So you can do it. And then you, like Miriam, will be having your own performance. Everyone's going to come and see her at Stage and Sound. The girl that people said, I don't think this program's for you. Hello. Apparently it was, because now she's the one we all going to go here on Saturday, and had a beautiful opportunity. 2 schools opening their doors to her, giving her scholarships for school for music. I mean, that's amazing. But it's not just for her. The same can happen to you and for you. So we love you. Have an incredible week. Whatever you do, please stay safe. Mark your calendars for next Monday night at 7 p.m. because we're going to be here, right here with you on A New Thing Live. Have a blessed week. Bye-bye.
Are you ready?